Yo, what is going on everyone? Guiding Light here, back with another quick Lords of the Fallen video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can defeat the Mistress of Hounds boss fight. I'll give you a few tips and tricks along the way that made this fight a lot easier for me. Now, I'm actually going to be going over two different methods that you guys can use in order to get through this boss fight. Make sure you have spent all of your XP points, you've leveled up all the way as much as you can, and then make your way over to the boss. Now, there will be a few enemies along the way. It definitely will help a little bit if you can try not to get damaged by them as much as possible as you're on your way down here. Now, once you guys do get to this boss room, there's actually a bit of a safe spot that you can get in. Now, I really suggest using a sword and a shield for this fight, and being in the stance where you can actually use both at the same time. It will help quite a bit when fighting the hounds, as you can use the shield to block them and not take as much damage as you would getting hit straight on. So once you get in the boss room, this is actually a safe spot right here, from the boss at least. So I'm going to show you guys two different methods that I use to get the boss extremely low, and you can actually beat him using these methods. So once you get in here, it's actually a good idea to start using your throwable weapons. Now, if you have a really high powerful throwable weapon, you can actually use this safe spot back here to not take any damage from the boss and mitigate damage to the wolves in the meantime. So if you have a shield, you can actually block the damage from the hounds pretty easily. And if you can get the timing down right on the shield, like if you do a perfect parry on the hounds, it will actually not give you any damage whatsoever. So because they only spawn 2 or 3 hounds at a time, you can run back there to that safe spot, take out the hounds with the shield and a sword, and then when you're ready to do some damage again, you can go back in with your throwables. Now, one thing to keep in mind though is that if you do run out of throwables, you can actually go into your inventory and pop an ammunition satchel and get some more ammo. Another thing to look at is this bar underneath your stamina bar. As you can see, it's now empty. This is the amount of times you can use a throwable during the fight. So once that bar is gone, you will not be able to use any more throwables unless you can get it to recharge. So this is why I was saying I was going to show you guys two different methods, because this is the method I used to get him down about halfway, and then I went in with my sword afterwards and used a separate method. But you could use either one of these methods, honestly, to take him out. So if you don't have really strong throwable weapons, or you don't necessarily like that method, there's another method I came up with to beat the boss. It just takes a little bit more work in my opinion. However, I was able to get him down from this much health all the way down to 0 by using this method. So very quickly, I'll show you guys exactly what I was able to do to actually take this boss down. Now, this second method is definitely a little more tedious. It definitely is a little harder in my opinion, but once you get the method down, it's pretty easy to actually not take any damage at all from the boss or the hounds at all. So if you guys have ever played Call of Duty Zombies, this is actually basically a method I use where you can run a train and you can just run a giant circle around the map. So as you can see, I'm running giant laps around the map as slowly as possible to try to get the dogs off my back, but also keep the damage away from the boss. So what I'll do is I'll run a lap around the map, not take it's that much damage. I'll still get hit here and there, but you'll see that this method is quite effective over time. So I'll run a really long lap around the map. The only thing you have to keep an eye on is your stamina bar, as if it depletes, you will not be able to sprint, or you won't be able to roll anymore. So you just want to make sure that's always got a little bit of energy in it, just in case the hounds end up catching up to you, or you need to make a quick dodge. So all you have to do is simply run really big laps around the map. Wait until you get up to the boss, hit him one time, and then what you want to do is just simply roll right after that hit and just continue running a lap. So once you guys get this method down, you can actually go quite a while without taking any damage at all. And you'll see just what I mean in a second, because I was down to one hit and I was able to get the boss down about 30%, even though I only had one little speck of health left. So this method is not very hard to master. It's actually a lot easier to master than the one with the throwables. But I want to show you guys a few tips and tricks that I learned when trying to use this method to make it a little bit easier on you and less stressful. So as you can see, the hound is literally right on my back. And if that ever happens to you, do not go and attack the boss. Just simply run another lap. Make sure that you don't let your stamina bar get below half. And then once you know that you have enough time to get an attack in, you just simply run in as much as you can, use all the stamina you can, and just get straight up on the boss. Now, once you actually do go in and hit the boss, it's very important to dodge in the proper direction. If you do not dodge in the proper direction, it actually leaves a pretty big opening for the boss to use his melee attack. His melee attack is extremely devastating. It can do a lot of damage. On top of that, if he hits you, or if one of the hounds hits you, it's going to stagger you, and it's going to be a lot easier for them to combo more and more attacks in. So the best thing to do when you attack him is to always roll straight through him. So as you can see, I'm using my momentum that I used for the swing to continue to roll in the same exact direction. Do not roll backwards or sideways, because if you do, it's going to leave an opening for either the boss or the hounds to finally catch up to you. Now, as you can see, as we rinse and repeat this method, we're able to get one attack in on this boss at a time, dodge straight through him. Make sure you always dodge forward. This is going to allow you to not take as many hits, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. I'm going to get down to literally one speck of health, and I'm going to end up beating this boss anyway. So just stay calm, and you rinse and repeat this method, and eventually you should be able to get this boss done pretty easily. Now, for whatever reason, you feel like you're just not doing enough damage, or this fight's extremely, extremely hard for you, there's a few different ways that you can actually still get this done. One way would be to play with friends or use the matchmaking feature to try to get some help in here. And another way would be to go ahead and level up your character and upgrade your weapons as well. If you feel like they're just not doing a lot of damage, you can actually go and upgrade your weapons, and you can level up your character a bit, come back here, and you'll be a little bit stronger in order to get this fight done. Now, I honestly can't even believe that my health bar was this low and I was still running around, but this is just proof that this method can work and that you guys can get it done following this method, because I was literally down to one speck of health and was able to still get down about 25% of the boss's health without getting hit even one time. So just simply repeat this method again and again until eventually you get it done. And I'll let the video play out so you can see exactly how I managed to do it. Hopefully this video helps you guys out with some tips and tricks to get this one done a bit quicker. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.